Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the E93 M3 and we need to pass Smog, so it is time to put the stock cats back on, retune the car to stock, and I'll show you guys what happens and if this works. I'm going to be clamping these back on using this right here, and if it works I'll link everything in the description so you can try this yourself. If you have test pipes or something else where you cut these, reattaching them back on, usually you'll have to weld them, but in this case we're just going to clamp them on just for Smog. Once we pass, put everything back to how it sounds, because we're going to miss the this exhaust setup that we have over here currently. Alright, let's get these on. Okay, so we've got the test pipe out. Here's the old test pipe. We're gonna transfer the oxygen sensors over to the cats, and then let's bolt this cat on with these clamps. Alright, so this is the stock cats bolted back on. I used the clamps, those white clamps right there as shown. This saved me a good amount of time. It only took me about an hour to clamp these on and remove the old test pipes. And without having to replace the X pipe, the whole entire X pipe, this definitely could be a time saver if this works. So let's go ahead and retune the car back to stock because we have the stock cats back on. Okay, so I have my laptop here and my BPM Sport OBD2 cable that connects to the laptop. It depends on the tuner you have. The way that you tune and retune the car is going to be different for each manufacturer, but this is for BPM Sport. Plug it into OBD2. I've also got my trickle charger on just in case the battery is low. I don't want it to be low during the flashing process, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug this USB into the laptop. Time to click on BPM flash. Open that up, press agree for the user license, and next thing we're going to do is press next here, checking to make sure the computer is compatible, which it is. Next. Now we need to make sure that the vehicle is ignitioned on, so twice on the start stop button until you see these lights going on. That means that the ignition's on. Pressing next, identifying the ECU. Okay, so it's saying here it was successful, and this is my information for my ECU. Let's click next. Next thing you want to do is program the ECU, and this is how you tune back to stock. So let's program it, and then you're going to look for your stock ECU. For me, it is the 1240 EU update. So this one is a stock tune file. These ones right here, stage 2 and stage 2 M3, are custom tune files for me, made from BPM. So if I wanted to go back to my custom tune, I go to these, but I'm gonna go back to stock right here so that we can pass Smog. 240E update. Open. So we're going to press yes. So this is important, not to bother the car while it's going through all these error messages. It takes about 10 minutes. This is why you want to have your vehicle plugged into some kind of a charger so that you don't have any issues down the line. Looks like our estimated time is right around 10 minutes, so I'll be back to you guys once it's finished. Now that the ECU has been successfully programmed, we can press OK. So we are now tuned back to stock. Let's go ahead and unplug the computer and put the hood down and turn the car on. See how it sounds with the stock cats again. So first drive with the stock tune and stock cats. So far, everything looks good on our Torque Pro app that I have installed on the Android head unit of this car. And if we look here, we can see our emissions readiness. O2 sensor heater is complete. The only things that are incomplete so far is the O2 sensor, which takes a couple of drive cycles to get that down. The evap, same thing, and also the catalyst, same thing. So we'll need to give it a couple cold starts and also drive it on the freeway for around 20 minutes at a steady RPM. So we're just gonna keep driving until all these complete. Let's go take a look at how the car sounds. Pretty much very quiet, almost sounds like stock. I don't really hear the exhaust anymore, so I do miss the old exhaust now. Let's put the windows down a little bit. Yeah, I can barely hear the downshifts. The car also feels slower. It doesn't feel as peppy, and that's because of the stock tune. Let's open the valves, see if there's any difference here. Alright, so that's valves open. Still has a high-pitched sound to it, but definitely muted because of the stock cats. It also feels more restrictive. It doesn't feel as strong performance-wise. So a tune definitely helps this car, even if it's only 20 horsepower difference. Definitely sounds smooth and stock again. Okay, we've been driving on the freeway for about 15 minutes now, and we've got all the monitors that we need completed. In California, the only incomplete monitor that's allowed is the evaporative system, or evap. So that one's not completed yet, but it will eventually. So we are on our way to get a smog check now, and hopefully it'll pass with all these done and the stock cats back on. Visually should pass. Also, it's back to stock tune as well. So we'll get back to you when we get to the smog shop. Thanks. Okay, so good news guys is we passed smog, so everything went well. Luckily they didn't check for secondary cats. If they did, I would just have to put the whole entire X pipe back on, but they just checked to make sure that the main cats were on. So we passed, pretty smooth process. Now we get to put the car's old exhaust back on because this new exhaust is too quiet for us. We like the old one with the higher pitch noise. Yeah. So I'm gonna do that soon. You can see the difference. I mean, you can hear the difference. It's definitely quieter and deeper, not as high pitched. So excited to get the old exhaust back on. But yeah, thanks so much for watching this video. Hopefully it's helpful to anybody that has test pipes and wants to clamp their old cats back on. It's the easiest way to pass smog. And also, you know, retune back to stock and put the old intake back on. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good evening.